Fluid paint is the newest brush technology in Corel Painter. Introduced in Painter 2023, these brushes enable you to create strokes with incredibly smooth transitions and opacity when using pen pressure to control the brush expression. You also have enhanced control over how the opacity builds up with overlapping strokes. Because this brush technology is so dependent on pen pressure, it's important that your pressure is well calibrated. To see how fluid paint works, let's try brushy in the paint and blend category. Start with heavy pressure to build up an opaque overlapping stroke that gradually fades to transparency with lighter pressure. Then, with the same stroke, double back over the stroke using light to medium pressure to fade out the harsh transitions and opacity to make them smoother. Normally, I'd use a blender to fade out harsh edges, but it's nice to be able to do it all in one stroke. This makes it very easy to create hand-painted gradients. Two important things are happening here. First, the stroke is not building up to a stronger opacity when I double back over the stroke with light pressure, like it would if I disabled fluid paint, and enabled legacy opacity with opacity linked to pressure. And second, the strokes and dabs are overlapping without creating a lot of unwanted artifacts. This helps the stroke look smoother in terms of its paint uniformity. But there's more to fluid paint than that, so let's dive into some of the technical details. Fluid paint brushes can be found in two new categories: Fluid Build and Sculpt, and Fluid Paint and Blend. Fluid Build and Sculpt contains brushes with a digital feel that are focused on building up opacity smoothly. Fluid Paint and Blend features brushes that feel more traditional. Alongside the heightened control over opacity, these brushes can both paint and blend to varying degrees. Given the name and how I summarized this technology so far, you might get the impression that fluid paint is mostly for glazing and other wet techniques. However, by combining the properties in different ways, it's possible to create blenders, oily paint brushes, ink brushes, impasto brushes, and even dry media. So don't let the name fool you. These brushes don't have to be used exclusively with a fluid medium. You can even enable fluid paint for many of your favorite legacy brushes to extend their opacity, grain, and blending capabilities. Essentially, fluid paint combines the enhanced cover, opacity, and glazing technologies. At first, fluid paint brushes might look a lot like legacy glazing brushes, but there are several features that sets fluid paint apart from legacy glazing. First is that fluid paint leverages the enhanced cover method, so you get the added benefit of GPU acceleration, plus more control over the appearance and blending of brushes. For example, you can choose a number of enhanced cover subcategories, some of which will allow you to express grain in the brush in various ways. Fluid paint gives you heightened control over the visibility of grain, and combined with the new highly detailed fluid paint papers, you can create strokes with bold texture that doesn't get filled in at higher opacities. Furthermore, the grain is more consistent overall with fluid paint brushes compared to legacy glazing, which blurs and smudges the grain. If we compare them side by side, you can see the difference. I will come back to the grain feature. The second difference between fluid paint and legacy glazing is that you can use the fluid paint opacity property to limit the maximum opacity level of your strokes so that they do not build up beyond a certain opacity. Legacy glazing brushes, on the other hand, build up as you overlap consecutive strokes, eventually reaching 100% opacity. And the last distinction is that fluid paint can be used on default and thick paint layers. Legacy glazing only works on default layers. So why is it called fluid paint? Let's dive into the name a bit and explore what makes these brushes feel fluid. There are different types of wetness in traditional art. A marker is wet, and when you overlap strokes, the pigment builds up darker with sharp overlaps. However, other types of wet media do not build up as strongly, and the wetness of the canvas or medium diffuses any harsh edges where strokes overlap. The best way to see this in action is to create a long looping stroke that goes from heavy to light pressure. If you look at where the strokes overlap, you can see that compared to a stroke made with legacy opacity, the paint in the stroke is more even. The legacy opacity stroke builds up more like a marker, and the fluid paint stroke looks more like I used my finger to smear a thin glaze on a wet canvas. It does not quite plow into the paint like you would expect it to, but it also does not build up where it overlaps unless I want it to. In that sense, the fluid paint medium makes me feel like I am painting with a fluid into a fluid. If you were hoping fluid paint meant the paint would flow across the canvas, that's not what's happening here. Painter is simply creating another way of layering paint that fits better with certain painting techniques. Fluid paint gives you the ability to control the opacity by deciding where it does and does not build up using pen pressure. Legacy opacity just builds up no matter what. If I make an overlapping stroke with legacy opacity, you can see that if I double back over it using very light pressure, it's still building up. Just look at how uneven and digital looking the paint is. In contrast, the fluid paint looks more like a gradient with smoother transitions and opacity. While they can be used on the canvas layer, fluid paint brushes are meant to be used on a separate layer because transparency is what facilitates the fluid effect. If you paint directly onto the canvas, the white of the canvas will ruin the transparency effect, and you'll likely get unwanted shifts in color when you blend. For this reason, a warning message may appear if you try to use a fluid paint brush on the canvas layer. You can disable this message from the Corel Painter preferences. I'll clear the canvas and return to painting on a layer. With the right settings, fluid paint can build up evenly at low opacities, which makes it easy to create an even glaze over underlying layers. But you can also easily fade gradually to stronger opacities to build the glaze up thicker. If you show and hide layers, you can see the transparency effect in action. Although it looks like the paint is mixing with the underlying colors, it's actually just fading to transparent pixels. This is closer to how a traditional pigment would behave as it runs out or becomes diluted. While you will most likely want your paint to build up to full opacity, if you do want to limit the maximum opacity of the brush, you can do that with the fluid opacity slider on the properties bar. If I set it to 50%, I will only be able to reach 50% opacity in my strokes, no matter how hard I press with my pen or how many strokes I overlap. If I am primarily trying to lay down thin glazes, these settings might work well. But for many painting techniques, it will feel frustrating if you want to cover underlying paint. For this reason, most of the time you'll probably want to keep fluid opacity at 100%. Fluid paint has its own panel. Here's where you can enable and disable fluid paint for brushes that can support it. As I mentioned earlier, enhanced cover is required to enable fluid paint, so aside from the general panel, a good indicator that a brush can support fluid paint is the paint opacity flyout in the properties bar. This flyout also includes controls for paint layering, formerly known as stroke attributes. Fluid paint brushes can have a paint feel, a dry media feel, or they can feel wet like marker or watercolor. But to complete the feel, the right combinations of paint layering and composite method may be required to make the medium blend properly with itself and the underlying colors. For example, oil paint is often opaque and covers underlying layers. Chalk is also opaque, but both oils and chalk can become semi-transparent when thinned out. While you can see the underlying layers, the detail and colors are obscured by the semi-opaque paint. Marker and watercolor, on the other hand, is made of transparent pigments that tint rather than cover the underlying layers. You should be able to see through the underlying colors quite easily, and all that is obscured are the colors. I'll need to choose the correct composite method and paint layering to make this look like a transparent medium. By changing the composite method of the layer to multiply, you can make the paint become transparent for any brush and painter. Now it blends correctly with the background, but when I build up strokes, it doesn't get more concentrated like a pigment should. To achieve a watercolor or marker effect, I'll need to combine this composite method with paint layering. Paint layering is not compatible with thick paint layers, so I will have to work on a default layer. Multiply will cause the strokes to build up darker, giving you media that looks more transparent and concentrated rather than opaque like oil paint. And you still get the benefits of being able to create smooth strokes with heightened opacity control. The downside is that now subsequent overlapping strokes will build up even with low pressure. So you will no longer be able to fade harsh transitions like you could with paint layering disabled. For a more vibrant shading, you could use the color burn modes, or for pigment that looks diluted, use the gel modes. Just be aware that gel is a proprietary mode that only works with Painter. For the most predictable results, be sure to match your composite method to the merge mode you have selected, unless you want them to be intentionally mismatched. You can even do the opposite and add highlights without having to change your color by overlapping strokes using the screen or color dodge modes. That's about all there is to say about working with fluid paintbrushes. Because this is a brand new technology, it's up to us as artists to figure out how to use it in our artwork. Experiment with it, and I'm certain you will find it to be very useful.